Hi everyone! In this video I'm going to show you how I designed these fun custom edges on the mug templates in Cricut Design Space. You can use these with infusible ink or sublimation. If you'd like to use the templates I've already shared, check the description under this video. You'll find links to join my Facebook groups. If you'd like to learn how to make your own, keep watching. We're going to start our project on Design Space landing page. You can see all the templates that I've shared so far in my groups, but I'm going to show you how I create them. We have a mug design set up in our Cricut Mug Press ribbon. We're going to use this one. There are several edges you can choose from, but in this case it really doesn't matter which one you choose because you're going to be slicing it off. So I'll just start with the large straight edge. Whether you're doing large or small, that doesn't matter either because you can resize them easily. So we'll go with large straight edge and click Customize. When it opens on your canvas, you're going to see your guidelines and your template outline. You don't need either of those. You can delete them completely or just go to your layers panel and hide them, whichever you prefer. What you do want is this centerpiece. And you can see for the large mug it's 8.75 by 4.25. You want to remember those dimensions. So for this demo, I'm going to do the stars and stripes template that I showed you earlier in my groups. I'm going to use all the same stars, so I'm just going to shapes to select this star. But that's completely up to you. If you want to use all different shapes of stars, you can go to images, search for stars, and choose whichever ones you like. I want some stars that are just outlined, so I'm going to duplicate and duplicate again. Make this one a little smaller. Select both of these together, align and center, and then right click and slice. So we're going to keep these extra pieces. We want all of them. So all we're going to do is make a border that's all different sizes of stars. And that too is completely up to you. If you want to use all the same size, you can do that too. All you want to make sure to do is that your top and bottom stars do touch the edges of your template. You want to be sure they touch on the top and the bottom. So if you're not sure you've got it lined up properly, select the star, select the background, align and align bottom, or select the star and the background, align and align top. So you know that those two are touching. You definitely want that. I'm going to duplicate this one because I want a few more that are just borders. Duplicate again. We'll put this one here. I don't want it to be at the exact same height as the first one that I added. Maybe make it a little smaller, put it at a different angle even. You can turn it a little, something to make it look different. Let's take this one and turn it a little. Just make sure that it's not overhanging your edge. We'll take this one and we'll put it in. So you're just going to play around with them and make them different sizes, unless of course you prefer that they're all the same size and all the same angle. That is completely up to you. I like to move them around and turn them in different directions. Let's duplicate this one and we'll put it here. Maybe we'll move this one over to here. We have an open space, so let's duplicate and make that one a little smaller and put a tiny star in between. And I'll turn it and make it straight. Completely up to you, however you like it to look. Okay, let's take a tiny one and duplicate it. And we'll put that one here. And these two are straight, so I'm going to angle that one a little bit and put it there. We'll duplicate this one. And maybe I'll turn it this way. And duplicate. That's too many in a row that look identical. So I'm going to move it over here and duplicate this cutout one and put it in here. We have these little tiny ones, duplicate, and maybe put one in here and turn it a little bit. But it's too much like this side, so I'm just going to move it down. And we have an open space here, so let's duplicate the little one. Completely up to you, however you want to do it. We see that we have this big open space, so maybe I'll just move this one up a little and make this one a little bigger. There we go. I like how that looks. So at this point, I'm going to take away my background and I'm going to select all my stars together. I want you to notice on the layers panel that we have this big long list of stars. I can right click and attach, but it's still a big long list. And we know that the more cut lines you have in your project, the slower it's going to be to open and to transfer to cut. So I personally, once I have it set up how I like it, I like to right click and weld. See how that's become one cut file? It's going to be a lot quicker to work with. But that's optional. If you want to keep it attached, you can do that too. So I've selected that group again. I'm going to offset. And you can see that it's applying an offset to my background. I don't want the offset to be that large, so I'm going to change this to 0.15 and enter. That's what I prefer, and I'll click apply. So let's move our stars away. You can see on the offset that we have all these little tiny cutouts. We don't want those. We want it to be a solid shape. So you go to contour and hide all contours. And there we go. Now we have a solid shape. So let's bring our background back up. You can have your offset overlap a little bit. That's not a problem. We're going to need a second one for the other side. So we right click and duplicate. And of course, now we're going to flip and flip horizontally so that they are identical. We'll just put that one here. So now you want to make sure they're aligned on both sides. So choose one, hold down your shift key and choose the second one. Go to align and align top to make sure they're all aligned evenly. Now we're going to right click and weld. We're welding because you can only slice one layer out of one layer at a time. So if you have 3 layers, you'd be doing separate slicing, and you want to slice both at the same time so that your cutouts are even on both sides. Nothing moves accidentally. So now we're going to select all together, align, and center vertically, just to make sure everything lines up evenly. Right click and slice. We'll take away these edges we don't need. Take away this offset. This is the part we want, so we'll delete this also. So now look at your template. It's all messy around the edges. So all you're going to do to remedy that is click contour again and hide all contours. And now you have nice clean edges. So we'll bring in our stars to see how they look. That looks terrific. I like that. I'm going to right click and duplicate, and then of course flip horizontally and place these on the other side. We're going to select all together, align and align top. So now you want to make sure that your template is the right size. We started with the large template, so I'm going to size it as if it's going on a large mug. So I'm going to unlock the dimensions. We know the width needs to be 8.75 and the height needs to be 4.25. So we've adjusted that. And that's the correct size to fit on a large mug. Okay, so now we're going to make decisions about our colors. I want my stars to be red. So I'll change these to red. There we go. I want my background to be blue. And there's the beginning of my Stars and Stripes template. I'm going to Images and I'm going to find something to put in the center of my template. So let's search for Stars and Stripes, or you can search for July 4th or whatever it is you want to find. It can be anything that you like. And here's one that I like. I'll go with that one. Insert image. Okay. I don't want the blue background, so I'm going to delete that in my layers panel. Let's put it here so you can see it. I do want the red and the dark blue. I do see that there is a white background behind the stars. I don't need that, so I'm going to delete that layer also. I like the red stars. I'm going to keep those, but I'm going to go to my color palette and change it to the same red that I've been using on the edges. I don't need this black layer, so we're going to delete that. I'm deleting so that I keep less graphics in my layers panel to make it easier to open. Okay, so we're going to keep this, but I'm going to ungroup it. On my layers panel, I'm going to hide those red stars. I'm going to hide the red edges and just keep this. Select all together, right click and slice. We're going to take these cutouts away. We don't need these, we want this. And we want it cut out so that the white on the mug shows through. Okay, let's delete that. Let's unhide the red and line it back up. And we'll unhide our edges. We want those also. So if I was going to cut this out from infusible ink, I have it exactly how I need it. So on my layers panel, I'm going to click on one of the borders, hold down my shift key, click on the second border, and click on the red stars. So I have all the red items selected. I'm going to right click and attach. So there we go. We have our red and blue separate. So when I click make it, you can see on this cut screen that the red will cut and the blue will cut. All you're going to do to press it is take this blue piece and put it back on the red where it goes after cutting and press it as one image. So let's cancel that. I also wanted to show you what I would do if I was using sublimation with print and cut. So at this point, I would take a shape, choose a square. I would unlock it, make it 8.75 by 4.25, which is the correct size for the template. Make it white and send to back. Select all, align top, and everything looks right. Select all together, right click and flatten. And that's how I would do it for sublimation with print and cut, because then you could have Design Space just cut that rectangle out around the edges, or you can just cut by hand if you want to, because it's just a plain rectangle, so you can do it either way. Another little thing that I wanted to show you is that if you decide you're going to put it on a smaller mug, on a 12-ounce mug, you don't have to recreate the entire project from start. All you need to do is right-click and duplicate. And the template for the 12-ounce mug is also 8.75, but the height would be 3.79. So that's all you need to do to resize it for the smaller mugs. Just make sure before you print that you go back and double check your size in case anything has changed. So I hope this video is going to help you make your own templates with fancy edges. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you for watching.